Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Live Ones. It's Saturday, December 11th, and I already miss college football. I know we've got the Army-Navy game today. A lot of people are laying bets on it, but man, I really feel like the season was over as soon as it started. With Labor Day being late this year, we only had a 13-week season instead of the usual 14, and you can really feel it. Bowl games start on Friday, so those will tide us over for another couple weeks, but then it'll be over. And you really feel the pain of that offseason if you're a college football fan, too, when you think about it. College football runs from the beginning of September to 1 week after New Year's, and then it's 8 whole freaking months of waiting for it to come back around. With no college ball, the Super Saturday edition is going to be a little less super than it usually is. We've got a giant card of college hoops to go over. The NBA, NHL, and UFC 269. Let's get right to it, and we're going to start with college basketball and what should be a great game in the Big Ten today. Definitely one of the ones to watch today. Wisconsin's stellar defense has already gotten them big wins over Texas A&M, Houston, St. Mary's, Georgia Tech, Marquette, and Indiana. And in A&M, St. Mary's, and Indiana, they held to under 60 points apiece, and that is no small feat. They're up against a Buckeyes team that's one of the most systematic and well-oiled in the nation. They're not going to put up 90 spots every game like a Gonzaga or a Purdue, but they're outstanding at setting up their shots and getting clean looks. The Buckeyes are shooting 49% from the floor and almost 40% from the arc. This is going to be a hard-fought, physical chess match of a Big Ten game today. If you're into good, sound, fundamental basketball, this is your game. With Wisconsin's stout defense plus Ohio State's careful shot selection, I think the Buckeyes' total stays in the low to mid 60s. The Badgers' offense is not a world beater by any stretch of the imagination, and a couple of their bench players are going to be out with COVID. Both teams play very deliberate, slow paces when they have the ball. This one's a play on the under for me. I like the under at 135.5. So then staying in the Big Ten, another rivalry game in Penn State and Michigan State. Ranked near dead last in tempo in the country, Penn State relies on its defense to suffocate and smother and grind the clock out on the other end. The Nittany Lions don't generate turnovers, they don't block shots, they just smother you and they force you to take bad shots at the end of the shot clock. Michigan State's is even more stout than the Lions. They allow just 63 points a game. The offenses have been the Achilles heel for both of these teams thus far. Penn State has just been unable to get anything going on a consistent basis. They only mustered 60 points against Oregon State, 58 against Miami, and 64 against Ohio State. The Spartans just lack depth, period. Their entire offense is Tyson Walker and A.J. Hoggard, and that's it. Penn State can certainly use that. These are two teams with very similar profiles and very similar play styles. I'd be shocked if either team were be able to win this game by double digits today. So yeah, Penn State's a huge dog at plus 11. Give me Penn State plus the points in this game here. Sparty's definitely the better team, but not by that much, particularly with the type of game this is likely to be. So then, another marquee matchup today that we've got is Kentucky and Notre Dame, and you talk about two horrible spread teams, it's these two teams. They're combined 3-11 against the spread. Notre Dame hasn't covered a single game thus far in their disappointing 3-4 start. That's seen them head back to the drawing board. The Irish are allowing 44% from the floor and are just getting killed on the glass. They're ranking in the bottom 100 of the country in rebounds per game. That's going to be a huge problem against Kentucky, who's elite level at both ends of the court at it. The only reason that I'm not taking Kentucky on the -5 side here is that they've had a lot of hiccups in this 7-game win streak of theirs. They failed to cover 3 out of their last 4 games. They let Albany hang around way too long before they finally closed it out with about 7 minutes left. They coasted all second half against Central Michigan in that Southern game on Tuesday. Oof. 15 turnovers and 9 missed free throws against a team that they should have utterly dominated. I just don't trust them to cover with a consistent offensive punch right now. What I do trust is their defense. Their rebounding, like we said, is stellar. They're great at protecting the arc, and they've done a pretty good job generally at smothering their opponents in the paint and making them take bad shots in one-on-one matchups. I think they'll hold the Irish to a total in the mid-60s, and that would let them score up to the low 80s and still stay under the total of 145. So I'm taking the under in this game today, under 145. So that's it for college hoops. Let's go on to the NBA, and 7 games today. The game that I like is the Sixers and the Warriors. This is opening up right now. Warriors -1.5 as road favorites. I know why this line is where it is. I just don't like it. A healthy Joel Embiid spells a lot of trouble for the Warriors defense, who are going to be short Klay Thompson, James Wiseman, and possibly Andre Iguodala as well. It's going to fall exclusively on Draymond Green to contain Embiid on the inside, where he can and does murder people when he's healthy. They faced each other head-to-head 5 times in their careers dating back to 2017, and while Green has been able to slow Embiid down a bit, holding him to mid-20s point levels every time, that's about it. Outside of that, Embiid being healthy and so many Warriors being out, forget it. I mean, the Warriors are a far superior team right now at both ends of the court. Steph Curry is just playing out of his mind, looking to break Ray Allen's career three-point record, and he might well do it tonight, honestly. For the Sixers, we saw what happened against the Jazz when Embiid's supporting cast wasn't getting their shots to fall. Sixers were just 6 of 33 from the arc, and the result was that the Jazz absolutely just swarmed Embiid on defense inside. And you can be a big 7'2" guy like Embiid, but if you've got two guys, three guys on you at all times, you're gonna have trouble getting good looks. Sixers got blown out. The Warriors have the skill to, be able to do just the same thing the Jazz did if the Sixers can't get some quality looks. I really like the Warriors at -1.5 as the road favorites here. I think it's a bargain price, even with all the Warriors who are going to be out tonight. So yeah, that's my play. Warriors -1.5. Over to the NHL, and we're taking a look at the Blues and the Canadiens, and has there been a more epic fall for any team after last season than that of the Canadiens? They come into St. Louis tonight riding a 5-game losing streak where they scored just 7 total goals. They're 6-19-3 without Carey Price to put the team on his back and stuck in a pretty much insurmountable hole a third of the way through the season. The Blues have been dominant at home this year at 9-3-1, and they're playing great hockey despite being severely shorthanded due to COVID. They've been scoring at will, and they've been absolutely phenomenal at killing penalties the last couple of weeks. I like the home team to win this one going away tonight, so give me the Blues on the puck line at -1.5. You can get it for even money right now. Over to the West Coast and the Oilers and the Hurricanes. And for Connor McDavid and the Oilers, the season has hit a bit of a snag. They've lost 4 consecutive games after a really, really good start prior to that. The problem's largely been with the defense, who've been able to skate by, no pun intended, on the incredible offensive output of their elite 1-2 punch on that top line and win high-scoring shootouts. Everyone goes through slumps from time to time, and the one that the Oilers, particularly Connor McDavid, have been on offensively have exposed that defense. The Hurricanes are one of the best overall teams in hockey with depth on all 4 of their lines. They play an up-tempo style that should be able to exploit Edmonton's weaknesses, and I wouldn't be surprised at all to see them hang 4 or 5 on the Oilers on the road tonight. The over 6 goals might have some value if McDavid can break out of the slump that he's been in the past week, but you don't know with the Oilers. They've been scoring, if they haven't getting shut out, they've been scoring 1 goal, 2 goals tops. So I don't like the total tonight. I think the safer bet is to just take the Hurricanes on the money line for the +102 value. That's going to be my play tonight. I think that's a value play. And over to UFC 269, and the fight that I'm looking at tonight is the bantamweight contest between Munoz and Cruz. The fact that Dominic Cruz has only won 1 fight since 2016, but still ranked in the top 10 in the bantamweight division, says all that you need to know about the former champion. It's honestly remarkable that he's still able to compete at the level that he does after the 3.5-year layoff he had to take due to injuries. But at age 36, Father Time is clearly starting to catch up with him. You could see it in his fights against Casey Kenney back in March and Henry Cejudo last year, where he got positively brutalized by leg kicks. He just could not defend them at all. And leg kicks just happen to be the bread and butter of Pedro Munoz, and he throws them as well as anybody that's come down in the pike in the last decade, as far as I'm concerned. Cruz's game is predicated on his ability to be agile, his ability to dart in and out of the pocket, his ability to move around. If Munoz can land a whole bunch of those leg kicks early on and cut off that movement, he should be able to take complete control over the fight. Cruz has a height and reach advantage over Munoz in this fight, but I hardly think it matters because he hasn't been able to finish a fight since 2014. His only chance at a win tonight is by decision as far as I'm concerned, and I don't think he's got the striking or grappling ability anymore to be able to control the fight enough to get one. I make Munoz the clear favorite here, and I think you're getting a great value price for him at -115. So grab Munoz to win. That is my final play of the day. Everyone bet safe, stay safe. Follow us on Twitter at Live One Sports. Check us out on Roku and Fire TV at the Live Ones. Have yourself a great Saturday full of sports, and I will see you tomorrow.